Good afternoon, friends, family, and followers. How are you all today? For those of you who do not know who I am, I'm Ali Mortimer. I am a life, love, and happiness coach, and I'm here to ask you the question: how good are you willing to see? Oh my God, I can't even say it. How good are you willing to let it get? How good are you willing to let it get? That is my question. I can't believe I forgot that. How good are you willing to let it get? That is the question that we're here to come in and answer. So this is my Monday series, Come Fly With Me. It's all about finding your wings, the wings that are already attached to you that you've probably forgotten about, that you've disconnected with. And quite unbelievably, we are on episode 9. We have been through the first 2 chapters, the F, the L, the Y. We've done the F and we've done the L. We've done the F, which is all about freeing yourself, releasing yourself from the shackles of what you think you should be. Hello, nice to see you, Newly Designed Life. I don't know your name, but hello, thank you. Nice to see you and joining us today. So we've been doing the freeing, the releasing of who you think you should be, of who you thought you were, and really allowing yourself to move through that so that you can start to free yourself, that freeing and releasing. The L was all about then landing. Once you've freed yourself, how do you land back into yourself and who you want to be in this lifetime? Wendy, hello. Who do you want to be in this lifetime? That has been the chapter L, this landing back into you. And we've gone through all of those 8 episodes, and you can catch those all on my grid. Or you can go onto my YouTube channel and you can find them all in sequential order there. We are moving into the final part. I can't quite believe it. We're moving into the final part, and there's 4 more episodes of the Come Fly With Me series. This is all about, it's your turn. It's your turn to fly. It's your turn to awaken. It's your turn to, now that you've unleashed these wings and you've found your wings, it's what are you going to do with those wings now that you have found them? This is a really, really exciting part. Excuse me, I've got this, still got this terrible hangover from whatever flu I had with a really croaky voice. So excuse me if I slow down a bit and have a few drinks. So, you're about to take flight with these beautiful wings, but where do you want to go? So today's episode is all about self-curiosity. Self-curiosity is something I brought into my life once I'd come out of my darkness, once I'd come out and healed myself, and I'd come out of this very, very dark depression, of clinical depression and PTSD. I'd been doing all of this work to heal myself, to find out who I was. I'd released myself, I grounded and landed myself back into who I was. And then it was this emergence of the darkness, like the caterpillar coming out of the cocoon as a butterfly and recognizing, wow, who am I now? Who is this newer version of me, and where do I want to go? So this is all about self-curiosity. Excuse me. And I believe, and I still love, this is about living with self-curiosity in mind. And there's 2 parts I want to share with you today, 2 concepts I want to help you get your head round in terms of self-curiosity, is understanding that what is curiosity? Curiosity is the desire to know something that I already know in more depth, but also to find out if there's anything else I do not know about it. That's my interpretation of curiosity. And through the episodes that we've done so far, we've done a lot of curiousness, self-curiosity about ourselves already. If you think about it, we've done a lot of self-awareness, self-acceptance, excuse me, and we've really been practicing that. These first concepts through the first half of this episode, or these series, has been very much about asking ourselves a lot of powerful questions, particularly around how am I feeling? What am I thinking? What am I doing? And bringing this real awareness to yourself, your mannerisms, what you like about yourself, what you love about yourself, what you believe about yourself. If you think back to some of the titles that we've been taking ourselves through, self-belief, self-love, self-acceptance, excuse me, excuse me, oh goodness, self-awareness, all of this, self-respect, all of these elements are really about getting curious about who you are right now and asking yourself, wow, if that's how I'm feeling, and if that's what I'm thinking, And if that's how I'm acting, and if that's how I'm treating myself, is that the way I want to continue living, or do I desire change? And if I desire change, what is it that I want to change? Two of my favourite questions, I remember working with one of my coaches. She asked me, actually she was a healer, and it was when I was going through this real time of self-loathing and self-hatred and hating my body, hating who I was, just feeling so uncomfortable in all my skin, and just been so ingrained in my life for 4 decades that my mum's belief in me that I was fat that was how I believed I was showing up, that I was always fat, that I was always overweight, that I couldn't eat, and if I ate too much then I would get overweight. And she asked me this one very, very powerful question, because it was dictating how I was showing up, what I was saying, what I was eating, how I was living, denying myself the joy and pleasure of food, denying myself the joy and pleasure of wearing clothes that I liked. And she said, who would you be without that thought? Who would you be without that belief? And that is where my self-curiosity started. Who would I be without that thought? Who would I be without that belief? Am I willing to try and find out? And just by bringing that level of self-curiosity, started to radically change my life and change my belief about myself. And I bought the most beautiful butterfly, and it's on the tree just outside my window. And I put it there every single day so that I saw it and I reminded myself of that question. Who would I be without that thought? What would I wear without that thought? How would I show up without that thought, with that belief? And it absolutely changed my life. So my question to you is, ask yourself, are you willing enough? Are you curious enough to find out who you would be without those thoughts, without those beliefs? Who would you be without those rituals, behaviours and habits, especially if they are the ones that you recognise aren't serving you about where you want to go? Are you willing to go and find out? So bring it all back to self-curiosity. The second part of what I wanted to share with you today is very much in the context of where you're going. So now that you've understood who you are, and you've got these amazing wings, and you are an amazing individual, and you're so aware of what you're thinking, what you're feeling, how you're acting, what about what's next? We bring this level of self-curiosity into the path ahead. We've understood and brought the self-curiosity into ourselves now in the present moment. But one of the most exciting questions and powerful questions, other than the one I've just shared with you, were the ones that I asked next. I allowed myself to follow my curiosity. Now, isn't that interesting? What do I want to know more about? Do I want to know more about that? And I started on this incredible path of, I want to know more about spirituality. I want to understand more about the law of attraction. I want to understand more about the law of vibration. And I would read books, I would listen to podcasts, YouTube, TED Talks, and they go, now isn't that interesting? What about that? What is it about that makes me want to know more? What's my next question? Where am I going to go? And I allowed myself to start to follow this curiosity path. The things that interested and intrigued me, I allowed myself to follow them. And I was asking those questions. Where do I want to go next? What do I want to learn about next? Where do I want to go? Where do I want this to take me? What do I want to change? It was just allowing this level of curiosity to lead the path ahead and not having to know the outcome of any of it, but just allowing myself to really dive into what I was doing right now and not knowing the how or what or the when or the answers, but just allowing my curiosity to lead every single thing, and everything that I thought and everything that I was doing was literally just following this path of curiosity. So now I know this. What else do I want to know? Where does that lead me? What does that change about how I think, about how I feel? Moving those through into my life. Now that I know all of this about food and nutrition and the gut-brain axis and the microbiome, what do I want to change in my life? Now that I know that I have 75,000 thoughts a day and that I can't possibly believe in every single one of them, what do I want to do with that information? It was about really understanding, now I know this, what next? How do I want to integrate this? Or do I want to leave it? And really just allowing myself to follow that curiosity. I've been going back to some of my basics and some of my favourite thought leaders more recently, and I've been back listening to a lot of Wayne Dyer, and there was a concept I wanted to leave you with today for you to go away and perhaps really think about in terms of this curiosity. And it is really the difference between subjective attention and objective attention, and how you can put this and place this in the path of your self-curiosity. So in the path of your self-curiosity path. Put this on your curiosity path. Which path do you want to go down? And you have a choice of either. So when we talk about subjective attention of your curiosity, to me and my understanding of this and how I used it was being able to put myself at the heart of my curiosity. I put myself as the subject in my life, in my story. Imagine, a lot of people talk about it as being the main character in your film, putting yourself as the main character in your book. There's that wonderful part in, it's not Love Actually, which one is it? It's the other one. It's the one that's set at Christmas, and it's Kate Winslet, and it's that piece. It's about put yourself as the main character in your own story. What do you want to be the subject of your life? And it's about putting yourself as the subject of your imagination, you as the subject of your desire, you as the subject of your curiosity. If I am the main character in my life, what is going to happen to me next? What do I want to get curious about? What do I want to see is going to happen? And if I follow that path, what's going to happen next? Where am I going to go next? If I change this, what will happen? Put you as the subject of your curiosity. And the difference is being objective, having objective attention. Rather than being curious about you being the object of other people's thoughts and opinions and letting that sway you or dictate where you're going. Put you as the subject, and that's the difference. You are the object. Don't allow yourself to be the object of what other people think of you or say about you, or what you think, or allow yourself to be the object of what they think you should do. Don't get curious about what they think. Get curious about what I think, about what you think about you and your life. Subject versus object. Put yourself as the subject of your curiosity, not the object. Does that make sense? So if you're always putting yourself as the object of everybody else's opinions and their curiosity, you're going to be playing the supporting role. You might even be just in the chorus, in the background, as a passerby. Put yourself as the subject. Put yourself as the subject of your curiosity. I wrote this: I don't assume to know everything about me right now, but I'm so excited to continue finding out more and more about myself. I'm so curious to find out what is going to happen to me next, to my life. I'm so curious to find out what I'm going to be thinking, what I'm going to be saying. What is my next evolution? Where am I going next? Allowing that to fuel me, allowing that to enable my wings to lift me, and let that be the direction in which I fly and use my wings. So your homework, if you want some homework to go away today on the back of this, is to recognize that your life is your work of art. Your life is your story. Your life is your path of curiosity, and allow yourself to follow that and keep following that. You've now released all of these restrictions. You've freed yourself in going through those first 4 episodes of Come Fly With Me. You've landed back into yourself. You've understood how to respect yourself, love yourself, believe in yourself. And now it's allowing yourself to do the next part, which is to allow yourself to awaken you, till you lead, you lift, you fly. This is all about you. And the self-curiosity piece is the piece that can start to guide your direction in the right direction, with you as the subject, never as the object. You being this main character, this leading role, not being the object of anything else in your life. So A couple of things you might want to do. You can go back to doing your vision boards. You can go back to writing the story. Where do you want to go at the end of your life, and how do you think it's all going to play out? Just allow your imagination to flow, but allow yourself to be that complete subject of all of it. Get curious. What's going to happen? Where am I going to go? Who's going to be on this journey with me? How do I want to experience this human experience? Those are the questions. Those are the questions that you can keep asking. Self-curiosity. Keep asking yourself, the questions of you, and let those be the answers that guide you and how you're going to fly next. Self-curiosity was episode 9. Join me next week. We're going to be back with more self-integration into your life, understanding who you truly are, this self-identification rather than this alignment with your ego, of aligning with what you do and a title. This is all about putting yourself back in your life and allowing you to lead it, about you being able to use your wings and fly and recognize and allow yourself to see how good life can actually get. Are you willing to go and find out how good life can actually get? It's my gift to you. Have fun. Get curious about yourself.